Okay, this one here, I'm gonna touch up just a little bit more purplish. Okay. Okay, here's a good example. Between the two purple here, I would deliberately put a little bit more bluish compared to the picture. Why? To divide it, to give it more better division between the two flowers. Okay. Okay, so this one here, I probably would do this one first. Okay, so if you look a little bit more carefully, you will see all my flower, the color are quite variable. Okay, and this is why sometimes we do flower, you can literally get a blindsided. Okay. Okay, so again, this particular one here got a little bit blue here, so I'm gonna also increase the slightly blue so it will match up to the color that's what you're using. Now sometimes I also let you guys know that the edge of the flower, because the background gonna be sort of a bit darker color, then you don't have to worry about if you make any mistake because you can correct them. Okay, so I got up to this point here. Same thing again, I'll introduce a little bit of other stuff too, okay? For some student, they find it that this flower has line, okay? And those lines to them may be important, okay? But to me, again, they may not be as important as what it look like. So if you want to, you can get, like a flat brush like this, okay? And it's still watercolor brush, all right? So what you do is you dip into the water and then you squeeze a little bit of the water out. And if you wanted to pull, sometimes you can pull some of them out easy, okay? So again, let me pull a few of them to see if you guys can see the line, okay? So the darker they are, the easier you can see when I pull them out. And this is what some artists have been doing, okay? they paint a lot of flower. So what they do is they purchase whatever the brush they feel is suitable for them to get these line out. Okay, in a minute, if you can't see it, I'm gonna ask Hilda to go a little bit closer. Okay, so you can see it. Yeah.
That's the closest.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna pull a few more. Okay, so you guys can see better. I actually can see it from the picture itself.
Is your brush wet or dry?
Wet, but look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Okay, here. Water. Okay, I'll dip it in. Get rid of some. Okay, then I'll put it away. Then I'll tell you what happened. Then I'll take my brush. Use my finger. I squeeze some out. Okay. Now, the easiest time to do it is not wait until next day. Okay. The easiest to do it early enough so that you can still get the color off. And the other thing is like certain color, the mixture. Let's say, for example, we have phthalo blue. If you use phthalo blue, you will have a little bit hard time taking the color off because some of the phthalo blue is a stain. Okay, so you remember that long as they are stained, you have more difficult getting the line out. Okay, so you can see here, this one here is more pink. So you can see the line, but it's not very visible. Okay, so after you scrape a little bit, you gotta clean. Make sure it's because it get color onto the brush. Okay, so remember, okay, don't overdo it because these line supposed to be thin, and some of you keep on scraping and the line become too thick. Okay, as soon as you couldn't see you're scraping them off, then that means that you don't have enough water. Okay. Okay, can you see it? Can everybody see it? Helda say if I angle them more, you can see it, right?
Yes, we can see it clear.
Yeah, I just wanted you for sure you guys can see it. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna continue a little bit more. Let me see, where am I continue here? Okay. All right, so just to let you know that I will be doing that to scrape them off a little bit, okay? Using this type of brush like this, it won't damage the paper. Okay, again, I remind you guys, this is really cheap brush, okay? Like we almost tell you that this is sort of look like a dollar store um, flat brush. So sometimes I like this or Walmart type of when you buy a whole bunch of them, okay, instead of single brush. Okay, so that's what I use for these type of brush, and I find it very effective. Okay. Okay, so towards the side here, I'm gonna switch over to just a little bit more magenta. Okay, so you notice I lifted a little bit of white on one of the area. Okay, so that part. Okay, so I finally have one white area, one line that is very, very white. Okay, so I'll go back to this white line later on. Okay, so here apparently look like there's another white line and I didn't save it. So what I can do is right now I'll take the same brush like this and I'll see if I can take them off. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so just to demonstrate to you, that's what you can do. Okay, and then if you do it this like a rescue, you can take after you remove it, you can take the paper and kind of pick that up, the paint, and then you can clean your brush again, and if you like, you can go back the second round. Okay, so that white line now is there. Okay, so now I'm gonna put a little bit color over to the next petal, which is right here. Okay, it looks like this flower is underneath, so I probably have to switch over to just a pinch more bluish. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as soon as I spotted one area again that's look like two petal cannot differentiate. Okay, this two here. So again, I darken it regardless of what the photograph have shown. Okay, so one more on the corner here. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if I can get this the rest of the few flower. Okay, here it's not clear cut. Okay, remember, okay, some of you within one petal you should have more color. Okay, not just one single color. Remember that. Okay, so you can see sometimes again, you look like I use all the same color, okay, but watch out, it's like I wet it and then now I go back and I drop a little bit different color over it. Okay, so the first one is this, and you can see they literally run, okay, when I put on it. So you know how wet my color is. Okay, then I go in and in some area because it's probably not wet enough, so then it will have clump, so watermark, so you can blend a little bit. Okay, so this is a fast way. And another thing that's for you guys to recognize is whenever your pencil line is a little bit kind of dark, okay, you have a maximum of 3 layers of watercolor, and then you must erase. If you don't erase, it will be permanently that you won't be able to remove it. Okay, so remember that. So if you do flower and you don't like that, pencil lines to stay there, then you have to do it, no more than 3 layers. So some of the flower here, once it's dry, I will remove the pencil line in here, okay? Because I don't want to wait until 3 layers later, then I decide I'm gonna remove it, okay? I'm gonna do it more advanced. Okay, again. Okay, so some of the flower here, um, the bottom layer, okay, I can get a little bit in there. Okay, it look like I almost done this part here. Okay, so sometimes leave a little bit of a white line, it's okay, okay? So don't feel that, you gotta fill in everything. Okay, I think we almost at the tail end of this rim here. Okay, so myself, I probably already ended this ball here. Okay, there's a white line here. Okay, so you can already see that I nearly all done this part here, okay? I just have to double check. Perhaps there's one area or what that I missed it. Okay, when you do flower, got so much of the petal, this is what would happen is a lot of time you gotta go back and double check. Okay, so I got up to this stage here, and then what happened is, of course, that's next week I'll go into the dot already. Okay, before I move on to the other petal. Some of the petal will be very fast and some a bit slower. So this is the bigger one. So this is the most time consuming. The rest of them a little bit faster. Okay. Okay, I got one.